One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back. '23 has finally landed, and with that, the family has left. The house is probably, still dirty from New Year's or whatever, but that's fine. And you don't feel like cooking, and you know what's better than not having to cook yourself? Having somebody cook your food for you. And what's even better than having somebody cook your food for you is having Grateful Dead family and Fish family cook your food for you.
Yeah.
So you should go over to Fire on the Mountain. They got 3 locations here in Portland, 2 locations in Denver, and it is the Grateful Dead and Fish family cooking up the best wings and pizzas and tots and onion rings on the planet.
Yep. And the PDX locations have launched their specials for January. You need to go over and check those out for yourself.
New Year, new specials.
And the Denver location, they have a live music pop-up coming up on 1/11 at 5 p.m. with Mimi Naja of Fruition. So go over to FOTM Denver on Instagram or PDX or FOTM PDX on Instagram to check out the specials for all the locations in Portland.
And if you are interested, they are hiring. Go over to the, Instagram, and on their home banner, they have a website you can click on and go check them out.
Yeah, you could even start the new year, new you, with a new gig
New
at Fire on the
job.
Mountain, working
Yeah.
for some dope-ass people that make the best food in Denver and Portland. Go to portlandwings.com. You can hook yourself up with some of their cool swag or some of their sauces if you don't live in one of those places. And if you do live in one of those places, go get fed by the family, man. Fire on the Mountain. Yeah, it's that time of year when it's, the holidays are over, and I think they call it the doldrums is this time of year because there's like no
The
holidays.
doldrums?
Yeah, they do. It's
Okay.
because they're like, there's no holidays in this time of the year. And you know what you could do? You could do retail therapy this time of the year to make yourself feel a little better. If you
Thought
didn't.
we all just did retail therapy.
If you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, you can go to shoptourbus.com and check out what they've got going on. At shoptourbus.com, they have the entire set list for 2022 of all the tees and designs they put out for 2022.
Which I love. The set list for 2022 is A Friend of the Devil, Music Never Stop, Crazy Fingers, Scarlet Begonias, I Need a Miracle, Addicts of My Life, Not Fade Away, and now the pre-order for 2023 is Jack Straw with 2 variants.
Oh, shit.
And they even say, whoo.
That is a lot of work, man. All the boxes are all over printed or hand designed and one of a kind, and they are professionally and wonderfully and lovingly packaged by the Shop Tour Bus team over there. And there's all kinds of extras and fun stuff in there. If you've never ordered from Shop Tour Bus,
you really need to
do
start.
It. Trust me, there's a reason they're our longest sponsor. Go over there, and they're hooking up the No Simple Road family with free shipping. So put in the promo code No Simple Road, one word, and you're going to get free shipping from our family over at Shop Tour Bus. Now's the time to make yourself feel a little better with a fresh tee or a nice hoodie, and you're going to get it over there at shoptourbus.com.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out. About the new Apple. Mm-hmm. You know that's true.
New.
All about the new. It's the new right now, the new 2023.
It is, huh, new.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Sure is a new.
This is Aaron.
This is Mel.
And this is Apple.
Welcome to the new year with us.
I say whenever Mel sings, I feel like I got to follow it up with a little,
Why
singing.
not?
Well, go. What happened, man? Where you at?
I sang.
Oh, you did.
I did it.
I guess I wasn't paying full attention to my surroundings.
I'd get up and skip while doing it, but I'm tethered to like a microphone and headphones, and Darwin's laying right by my feet.
Everybody, welcome to 2023 with us.
And our first episode of the year is with Parrish and Matt from Sicard Hollow.
Welcome, guys.
Yeah, this is exciting because we're completing the circle here with them.
No, it's a square.
No, it's a circle.
It's a square. It's four of them.
We had Will and Alex on, last year, and now we feel we needed to round it out and have the entire band on.
I still say it's a square.
Okay, it's a square.
We're rounding
semantics.
Up the square. Hey, you know what though? Out of all the music that we listened to in 2022, which was quite a lot, Sicard Hollow was one of our absolute favorite new bands that we found out about. And when we first talked to the guys in the first episode, we found that we had a lot in common and we really liked each other, and it was really amazing to have them on the show.
Yes.
And
it made us want to have the other guys on.
Yeah, it made us want to have the other members of the band on, and it also made us want to have them come play out in Portland, and still want to make that happen, guys. I'm just saying that needs to happen in 2023 somehow, some way, with the ways that the universe aligns stars and whatnot. I want to see that happen. I don't know about you guys.
I would love to see Sicard Hollow out in Portland. PDX, hell yeah.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that.
So what are you looking at, Apple?
Hi. I was just looking at their Instagram and their site here at the dates they have coming up.
What do they got going on right now?
Just a couple other things there. Well, for their tour, they have a few dates announced. January 21st, they're going to be in Richmond, Virginia at The Camel. March 3rd, they're going to be in Steamboat Springs, Colorado at Winter Wondergrass 2023. And then they are doing March 31st, Olympic Valley, California, Winter Wondergrass in Palisades, Tahoe. And then June 22nd, the Blue Ox Music Festival in Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
And they also have a new album out that dropped in November of 2022 called Brightest of Days. And if you have not listened to that album, please do yourself a favor and go check it out. It's amazing. You know, the world of bluegrass and jamgrass music is so quickly transforming because of the young blood that's coming into the scene as pickers, that the genre is evolving so quickly. There's so much influence in the younger players that are coming in now. They have an entire universe of music behind them that they have had the opportunity to be influenced by. And so the genre of bluegrass and jamgrass is changing wildly and fast. And Sicard Hollow is one of those bands that's at the forefront of creating that change and that different sound that's going on out there. I know that everybody credits Billy Strings, and hell yes, you know what I mean? But there are others too, and Sicard Hollow is one of those bands for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, if they're coming anywhere near your town, please go listen, go check them out, go buy the merch, go buy the ticket.
And my favorite title off this track is 5, Metamorphic Prophecy. I love that. I love what it talks about. Like, you should really just listen to the entire album. I listened to it a few times when it came out, and it's so sweet and it's so good, and it feels good, and it's also like, I don't know. I'll let you guys all listen.
We'll let you make up your minds out there about what you think.
Yeah, they have one other on here too that I just saw on their Instagram. Dark Star Jubilee. They will be playing May 26th, which is my birthday, 27th and 28th, Legend Valley in Thornville, Ohio.
That's a festival that I've always wanted to go to.
Which one?
Dark Star Jubilee. It's Dark Star Orchestra's thing, and that would be so dope. And Legend Valley is supposed to be awesome. And did you say May?
Yeah, May 26th,
not too
27th,
yet,
and 28th.
Like, weather would still be perfect. I don't know.
Well, congratulations, Sicard Hollow. You have done an amazing job with your album, with your touring, with your music. Great job.
Yep. So let's get you all to the interview, but we're going to do a little business real quick here. Follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Go to www.nosimpleroad.com and check out the calendar of events that's up there. We got a lot going on, and the year just started, man.
Yes.
We are going to be at Skull and Roses Festival, April 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. It's 5 days this year. Come hang out with No Simple Road and the entire Grateful Dead family in Ventura, California for 5 days of fun in the sun on the beach and the best Grateful Dead tribute acts on the planet in one place with all of us. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. And it even includes Garcia Birthday Band this year, which is a local favorite up here in Portland.
Our hometown homies. And did I fail to mention February 15th?
No, you did not mention February 15th.
Tell us about it, Mel.
February 15th, we're going to be in Asheville, North Carolina, for an evening of poetry and music. And it is going to be hosted by No Simple Disruption. John Medeski and friends, and his friends include O'Teal Burbridge, Vernon Reed, Brian Jackson, DJ Logic, Jeff Sipe, and Maggie Rose That is a crazy lineup.
emceed by us.
emceed by us.
What?
That's right.
At the salvage station?
At the salvage station.
What? Yeah.
So if you are in or around Asheville around that February 15th time, come see us at the salvage station emceeing this awesome event for our side project, No Simple Disruption.
Sister podcast.
That's
No
right.
Simple Disruption. Tickets are available through the No Simple Road website. If you go to No Simple Road and you click on the
It says get tickets.
Get tickets banner there. Yeah, it'll take you to a ticket link, or you can go to Salvage Station's website. There are tickets available there. $20 in advance, 25 day of show. I can't believe I am talking up our own concert.
Heck yeah. And it's only $20.
North
Come
Carolina
on.
with O'Teal.
You spend more on coffee in that in a week.
Holy shit, it's going to be a good year. Yeah, so that stuff. Go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. Hey, you know what? We usually like blow past the Patreon thing in the business part of the show, and we haven't had a new Patreon subscriber in a while, and we could really use your assistance, guys. There's a lot going on in the No Simple Road universe, and
It's a new year. I recommend thinking about it in a new way. If you are not, subscribed to Patreon, I suggest that you think about it like 2023. Everybody's got to get theirs. Everybody, the mailman, the cop, the teacher, everybody has to get paid. Everybody has to have that job well done. Everybody needs that. And so think about it in that way. Think about it, your opportunity to pay it forward and help people get their due, their pay, their value, what they're worth.
yeah.
And I know a lot of people, including myself, sometimes think that $1 doesn't make a difference.
Or someone else is
But
doing
if
it.
everybody or half of you or, some of you gave us those dollars, it adds up quickly. And then it makes you part of the family and a Patreon, and we love it.
And
Yep.
then all the stuff that you see us do, literally you helped us get there to do it. All those awesome interviews that you're listening to that you're like, wow, that was a really cool interview with Jennifer Hartswick at Peach. You helped us get there, like legitimately. So just think about that this year.
That's patreon.com/No Simple Road. And if you want to do
I
something,
know a couple things that doesn't cost anything.
What?
If you go to Apple Podcasts, you can go on there. You can hit the 5-star. Give us that 5-star thing, but you can go further and give us a review. We've not gotten a new one since our Christmas present one on December 25th.
Well, thank you, Candace Funk, for that
Yeah,
one.
so be the first of the new year to go on there and give us a review, because we'll read it, we'll shout you out. It makes us feel happy. It gets us in that algorithm to pop up in front of other people.
There's only one first.
That's what I was thinking.
for 2023.
Yeah, there is only one
Is
first.
it going to be you?
And then the other thing you can do is call that tepid line.
971-808-1524.
And on that tepid line, that is, like I always say,
971-808-1524.
it is open mic. We've asked for all kinds of things, recipes, jokes, whatever. You can just call and say, hey, you can just call. You could do whatever you want. We encourage you to use your freedom, exercise it, do whatever you want on the tepid line.
Right on. I think that's the business, folks.
Yeah.
So let's get them to this interview with Parrish and Matt from Sicard Hollow.
Let's do it.
Again,
Right
guys,
on.
thank you guys for being part of our show with us and for hanging out with us. And for all of you out there listening, go check out Brightest of Days. If they're coming to your town, go see them play. And without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Parrish and Matt of Sicard Hollow.
The curling twist.
Parrish, who's in the car with you?
I don't know if y'all can see it. Mr. Don.
Mr. Don?
Mr. Don.
Okay.
The dog.
Yeah.
Mr. Don. Hey, Mr. Oh, he don't want it. He's laying down.
He just poked an eye in real quick.
Well, welcome to the show, gents. We are stoked to have you on. Sicard Hollow is, I would say, the three of our newest favorite music
It's
ever.
hard to say favorite because we really interview some dope bands, but you guys are just surprised us so much with how you play, the songwriting, the brotherhood, all of that. It's just really awesome to see.
We appreciate it so much. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. You know what? Before we get going, why don't you guys introduce yourselves to everybody that's listening?
I'm Parrish Gabriel. Grew up in Texas, got out to Nashville, and been playing music out there for a while, and met these cats and play bass for Sicard Hollow.
I came from Southern California, and I'm Matthew Rennick, by the way. I moved to Nashville with my parents because with my stepdad, because he brought us from California to Nashville, and I eventually met the band. And I went to a bunch of different concerts and stuff. And the music changed my life, after, going through a bunch of the cool, jam bands and stuff, like Docio and Sound Tribe, and got, all the influences from there, going to all those shows in the east part of the country. So then we met at some shows and eventually all came together and made the band.
Your guys' origin story is super cool, man. And meeting you guys, it's a trip to hear that all of you were well, not all of you, but you guys were transplants from other places. Matthew, I want to ask you, I know that when your parents decide to move somewhere and you're living somewhere else, it fucking sucks when you're younger. That's the last thing you want to do is leave all your friends and your school and all that stuff. How was that for you? Was it a drag when it happened?
Yeah, kind of. I had a girlfriend at the time. I was just so young, I was 14 or something. Freshman. I just finished freshman year of high school. And I had a lot of friends, but at the same time, a lot of our friends, we lived pretty far. I didn't have a car at the time, so I wasn't that bound, even when I had the girlfriend, I was kind of I kind of want to move to a new place, and I've always heard of Nashville, I've been surrounded by music my whole life, playing the violin since I was 4. And so it's Nashville just felt like the right move.
Yeah,
Anyways, while I was 14, I was oh, this seems right. I didn't really have any quarrels with it as much because I was already passionate about music, and I already kind of knew at a younger age that in California it's really, really hard to be a musician unless you just want to be some kind of influencer TikToker thing, which I'm trying to delve into a little bit. Just
kill
to,
it.
Yeah, you're doing great.
You fucking kill it, man. I love it.
Thanks.
Parrish, what about you?
That's pretty much it.
What about you, man?
As far as your origins with the bass and all that.
Well, when I was really young, I got, liked punk rock and roll and stuff like that. And I decided I wanted to play music. I started playing bass when I was about 12. I was really lucky. I grew up in a small town, so there wasn't that many players. And I got to start playing with, if there were people to play with, I got to play with them really early. Started kind of just getting out there as much as I could. Whenever I turned, I guess 19, I kind of had this experience that told me to get out of small town Texas, and I moved to Nashville, thinking I think I'd stay there. But I've kind of bounced around that area and just played. Really, I got into the jam band funk thing, and then I was at a music festival. Electronic, beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, laser beam, alien shit,
Okay.
Which is sick.
It is.
I was at a music festival for that, and was having a good old time, and met Mr. Matthew Rennick there, and we got talking about music, and I had this dusty old upright sitting in the corner that I couldn't really play, and we got back from the festival, and Matt just kind of hits me up and was like, "Can you play upright?" And I was like, "Yeah." You
ain't a shot. What the fuck?
They sent me the tunes, and I was working a lot of time, but every day I came home and just started trying to hammer them out on upright because we didn't think I didn't think electric was going to cut it. They didn't ask for electric, so somehow got in the band by slapping together some upright chops. And then eventually we come to the point we're at now where the upright kind of took a dive on me on stage a couple times that we've started doing electric now. And it's kind of weird coming full circle from like loving playing funky electric stuff and jam band stuff to like playing kind of traditional bluegrass coming back to now I get to kind of lay the stank on it.
Yeah.
A little more fun. Yeah. A little bit more fun. I still like doing the upright stuff though.
You do lay the stank on it. Me and Aaron were on the patio before we came down here, and I was showing him the clip from the Caverns like a month ago, and it was Little Miss Tipsy, and you were throwing down. It was like a Phil Lesh-ish, like psychedelic bass line. Fucking it's dope.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it a lot. I was talking about Phil this morning. I love me some Lesh.
Yeah.
Gotta lesh it all out.
You
sure.
do. You do.
It's a trip to me. We've talked to a lot of new bluegrass bands lately, actually. And it's a trip. Like a lot of players have the same story as you, Parrish, like coming from the punk rock scene to the bluegrass world. And that's weird to me. Like that's where I came from originally, was that scene back in when dinosaurs were around. And like back in I'm before that. I'm talking like the late 80s,
Fugazi.
Like Black Flag, Fugazi,
Agent
Dead
Orange,
Kennedys, Agent Orange, like all that stuff. And
Dead Kennedys, bro, you're speaking my language.
Yeah. And it's a trip that crosses over like that, and that you can find that same stank that's there in the punk rock scene in the bluegrass world, don't you think?
Oh yeah, it's just three angsty fast chords about either like politics or heartbreak. It's just it's just that they're cousins in a weird way. It's just one plugs in,
right? Yep, 100%. And the bluegrass guys, a lot of times I think they have less friends. They lock themselves in a room and just pick over and over and over again or something. I don't know. They're shredders. They're nerds, They nerd out harder. I think that bluegrass is no joke, man. Like
it's a dedication.
It really is.
For real. Like there's something to being able to play that fast and that technical and have it sound coherent consistent. And that consistent. Yeah. And have it sound coherent. And you guys are killing it, man. Like I said, we talked to a lot of musicians, and you guys quickly became music that's on around the house all the time.
Yeah.
And it's dope, man. And when we talked to the other members of the band, like hearing your guys' story is super interesting. And I'm curious, Matthew, for you coming into Sicard Hollow, what's been the most difficult part of it for you?
Well, at the beginning, it was a lot, like, it feels a lot easier, a little more, I mean, it's still organic, but like even felt even more because we were like, so like, strive to like start a thing, different kind of energy. And so that was like, really, it felt like just nothing was happening, but everything was happening at the same time, just because we were just having fun.
Yep.
And just jamming and doing it. And I was writing these like licks to the songs that Alex was writing and stuff. And then like, trying to learn more of the bluegrass stuff because I'm more of a violinist than a fiddle player. So I do a lot more, like, I like to do more ethereal kind of stuff. So I guess the hardest like part overall right now is just like being able to have better coping skills.
Oh shit.
Coming back from the van and just kind of like taking care of myself and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the hardest part right now, but I'm getting through it.
I get it. That taking care of yourself thing that's real, man. Like,
And doesn't it seem and sound so silly? Like taking care of myself is the hardest part. But if you don't do that, one, you're going to be off your game. Two, you're not going to be healthy enough to do all the things that Sicard Hollow is doing. And three, you're going to disappoint yourself, you know, because you're like, oh, I should have just hooked myself up earlier and I would have been fine. So like early on when we started No Simple Road, I was like, how can you be healthy? And that's relative, of course, and be a traveling musician. And a lot of musicians said,
you can't.
Who said that you're healthy? Who said that that's the truth? You know, but I always ask because it's like any one little tip or two little tips that somebody can take with them is a win. You know what I'm saying? If you can like have one little hack or one little thing that will get you through, that can definitely change the game up for you. So do you have any of those?
Yeah, right now, I mean, I'm definitely like therapy, and a psychiatrist and stuff, just because I've had mental issues in the past as well.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of, especially coming off the stage, the anxiety that I already normally have kind of comes in a little bit harder. So then I have to like kind of readjust myself and stuff. So yeah, just like talking through it, you know, and trying not to drink as well. That's a really big one.
Like adding to your anxiety by doing something
or trying to tamp it down, trying to self-medicate.
Well, and I have a quick,
right.
Yes. Well,
but it could do the two, like it could either help you or there's days where it doesn't help you at all and makes everything so much worse, you know? So, but most of the time it's not good.
Well, I would think that coming off the stage, you know, you do have that like excitement and you've been like applauded and you're killed it and all that stuff. So the excitement turns into anxiety for you?
Well, it's like definitely I get the excitement for sure. It's more of like the after excitement kind of thing. Like so the excitement occurs and then after that it kind of just like dwindles down and you know, and then it's just harder. It's hard to cope with that sometimes.
Well, and think about like when we talked to James Casey, remember, or to Jen Hartswick, and she was telling us that like in the middle of the song, James is like, I can't believe I fucked that up. And she was like, dude, nobody even noticed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the stuff that like when you're coming off stage, you're like, I fucked that lick up and everybody saw it and nobody even knew.
Nobody noticed.
Right. And you're driving yourself insane about something.
That's what you got to like get away from. Yeah.
Right. And what about for you, Parrish? Has there been anything difficult for you coming up and seeing the success that you guys have had?
You know, I've been playing on the road for a really long time, and it's kind of an interesting thing. At one point in my life, it was actually really simple for me to go on the road. It was second nature to just travel and live in my car. At this point in my life, I have a dog who's 15. It's hard not to tour with him sometimes because I just worry about leaving him alone.
Totally.
But, you know, and I've got some other pets and like, you know, you have these like, you have aspects of your life where like you have, you know, as a musician, relationships are a different ballgame. Because we might be gone for 3 weeks at a time. That's not exactly like, if you got a solid relationship, you're good. But, you definitely see those trials at times in your life. And there have been times where, you kind of have a support, maybe have a support system at home that you're used to, and then that changes. And I think that figuring out how to build your life in like a healthy adult way and still figure out how to maintain it on and off the road, as far as like, you know, you can be a musician and you can say you want to live out of your car or live out of the van for the rest of your life and go from hotel to, but you don't. Like nobody actually really. You want a home. You want a nest of some kind. Everybody does want something, you know, even if it is a van and their own patch of land. And so I think that really for me the thing is like having this like just faith and trust in your partner, your network, your your people at home outside of the band that like you have to talk to and be with and spend time with and keep your head straight.
Ground you.
And giving a lot, grounding and giving a lot back to them when you're home as well. And also like with the boys, like we have to, there are times when like, we get off the road for 2 weeks. It's like, I will see you guys in a while, like I love y'all. And we all know what it is. I mean, like we love each other so much, but also it is like, I still smell you, and there's that thing where it's you wanna just keep all your relationships and all your like love for your friends and your people very, very healthy. You learn ways to have that balance and take care of each other from afar and up close and stuff like that. And I think that
that's some deep
caring
wisdom.
about it, which I think that we do as a band. I think that like really caring about each other, the people you're with, like sticking your neck out for them, and doing your thing, and keeping it solid at home is like that's going to keep you on the road, and picking your people is important,
Heck yeah.
So
I wanted to ask something go because we talked to Alex and Will, and first of all, I think I'm going to thank you for all three of us, Matthew, because on that we're going to almost name it the reluctant musician, because Alex gives you both of you, especially Matthew, like very high praise, because like you said, you're playing violin since 4, and that's pretty incredible, and he gives you a lot of credit for like kind of not pushing him, that's not right, for supporting encouraging to, because he said he's like I never was going to be a front man, I didn't want that, I couldn't take a lead for the life of me. But it sounds like from the very beginning, you saw something in all these guys, and it just to have you two on now to like complete the brotherhood is amazing. And I'm just wondering, like in the beginning, I mean, you come in as this like seasoned shredder, which that's how you first came to us too. Aaron, months and a while ago, showed us this video. I don't remember the performance.
I think it was from Peach.
Well, okay, but anyway, it was you on. He's like, look at this fiddle player, the way you were dancing around. He's like Pan or something. I mean, even now looking, you have such a good smile. You have such like a youthfulness and smile to you, sitting here right now. I'm just wondering, like in the beginning, how was that? You obviously saw something. How was that in the beginning? Waiting for them to
come
together to make what you are now.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was, at the time better than them as far as like skill and like and knowing songs and stuff, and like just knowing how to pick out song and stuff. But even then, it was still felt in a way like, equal grounds, like because they were playing obviously like different instruments, and so it was like I know how to play mandolin, but I don't know how to play as well as Will can. Is kind of what my thought process was. I was like, I know I can't play the mandolin as well as Will could whenever that was at that time, and now he does, and so it's like hell yeah. And same thing with Alex. It was like that kind of mindset. It's like, obviously, this is my instrument, but I know that if we keep going, that they can be masters at theirs too, because it happened to me. And so I was like, if it can happen to me, then it can happen to them too. Even though I started so young, they've just all loved music for long enough to like understand the concept easier because of the passion and of music itself as well, which is a huge factor.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say especially, but with bluegrass, like we were saying earlier, it takes a certain kind of person, I think, to do that. It's like, cause I'm learning fiddle tunes right now, and I'm realizing that fiddle tunes are a lot like classical music in a lot of ways. And to play classical or bluegrass, any music, to become proficient at it, you have to like give yourself to it. There's no two ways about it. You can't half-ass that and get it. There's just, it's not going to, you can be a campfire musician, sure, and whatever. But if you really want to do it, there's no way other than giving yourself 100% to that thing. And having an eye to see that in other people is dope. Matthew.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. And like,
yeah, that's not a skill that everyone has.
No.
It's kind of like, you know, like when you, I can't remember what their jobs are like. They walk out and they see a model and they're like, you need to be on, you know, the cover of Vogue. And it's like the next supermodel for the next 20 years because their look is different. But like, it's talent scout. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It's like that talent scout mentality that you can see something that other people can't, even though it's,
Right.
you know, hidden in plain sight, basically.
Is it, how do I ask this question? You guys are getting popular fast. There's a lot of success behind you guys right now. Is it scary for you guys at all?
Well, it's I'll say one thing, it's scary right now just because we're in this weird like almost there feeling, you know, and also just financially tough part of the process. So it's a little bit stressful. And so that's another thing I'm trying to nip in the butt, try to figure out. But I know that in time it'll work out.
Yeah. What about for you, Parrish?
Man, so I think that for me, the most interesting thing is, I don't know. Like I said, I've been kind of doing the tour thing for a long time. I think that now, since I'm the oldest member of the band, and there's times where I'm like, like 200 days on the road or whatever. It sounds like a lot a year.
It does.
200 a day, yeah, 200 a year, yeah.
Yeah. But you kind of, it's what you sign up for. I mean, there's a part of us as musicians where it's like, I love to travel. I love meeting people. There's definitely times when I'm burnt out and people want to talk to me and I'm like, I can't, you know. But I do, like, I really love and appreciate people. But you know, I think that it's more exciting than anything. I think there's times where it's like you have to buckle down and kind of be like real pragmatic with your planning and stuff. You need to really like you need to have a 5-year plan of what you want your life to look like outside of being a musician. Because like being a musician is something you think your whole life, you like kind of boil your personality or your like goals or your ambitions down to this one thing. And then you might realize later in life that, well, there's a lot more you want to have on top of being a musician. But being a musician really absorbs so much of that. That it's hard sometimes.
Dude, yeah.
So
you've really learned a lot, Parrish, through your travels.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, yeah, man, you're speaking from a really like tuned in place, like what you were talking about earlier about keeping those relationships at home and giving back when you get home. I'm sure after freaking 200 days on the road, or even just 50 or a week.
Yeah, I was going to say a week.
You come home, there's nothing more to give. You're freaking exhausted. But if you don't, those people that are keeping those home fires burning, whoever it may be, mom, dad, spouse, brother, whatever, they're like, what the fuck? I missed you. I want to hang out with you. I want to talk to you. How was it? Like, and that
I'll see you in 3 days.
That can be stressful in itself to like, you know, be like, oh fuck. Well, I mean, I do want to tell him, but I'm exhausted. I have nothing else to give. Like, that's very, you know, astute. Exactly. Very astute of you.
Thanks. I appreciate that a lot. I think that, you know, you find people that you want to keep in your life. I have a really awesome girlfriend and she's into the jam band thing. She knows what's up.
Right on.
She likes tour and all that stuff. I mean, she loves live bands. She loves the P-Fish and the Disco Biscuits and stuff like that. You know, Disco Biscuits, you know.
Sounds great. She sounds like awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like a keeper.
I know what you're talking about, brother.
She gets it.
Yeah. But yeah, she definitely gets it. So it's you have to, as much as those people, she supports me a lot on the road as do like a lot of our friends and people, and it's like you come back and you have to make sure that they also feel appreciated, and you have to, I mean, same with it, not just your significant other, but a lot of people. And it's an interesting. I don't know. It's an interesting lifestyle. It's a lot of fun. And there's a lot of love in it, and it takes a village for any of us to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of, like I said, you have to be really proper with planning ahead and being like, hey, like what are we doing with our life? What's our plan individually? What's all going on? So I think that's like the heaviest stress, but honestly, like once you just buckle down and open up the calendar, it makes it okay. You gotta really look at, I mean, Matt's right. The money thing is like, you have to be really, you'll get a fat chunk of money and be like, aha. And then all of a sudden it's been 2 months since a paycheck and you're like, ooh. It turns on you real quick. The wheel's spinning, So.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Well, I was going to say for you too, Parrish, it's got to feel like you said you're the oldest member of the band and you toured a lot more, played with other bands. It's got to feel really good to finally like find your homies and your home with a band.
Yeah, I mean, it's not where I thought. I mean, it's interesting. I never would have thought that I was going to play bluegrass. That's not. I've always played like funk, jam band noodles shit. Which I think is awesome because I think that Sicard, we do that stuff.
Yeah, you do.
Obviously, I mean, we like the auto funky, weird fish noises and stuff. But I've always said that like this is going to be, maybe it's not, I shouldn't say this, but jam bands suck, but they're the ones that have an identity are awesome. But like the word jam band is almost like a slur.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. It has become like that. And
it's being one of those bands, that's my favorite genre, but being one of the bands that breaks that mold or seeing the bands that break that mold is really awesome. And feeling like we were one of those bands that is really pushing to like have an identity that's kind of like unique enough and a voice of our own enough that's not to be like,
trite.
I guess like, yeah, generic, just like, we're not watered down.
Yeah. No, there's a right now, the time that we're in right now is really kind of cool, man. There's several bands that are kind of like have risen up. You guys, Dogs in a Pile, Eggy, help me out.
Dogs, Eggy, those guys are
fucking
awesome.
Shredders, man.
Yeah,
Cycles. Have you heard Cycles?
Yeah, Cycles is great.
Another one that's like
sick.
And
they're heady.
Yeah.
As an older cat, I'm seeing that like these new bands are coming out with a new style of music that's never been done before, and it gets lumped into the jam band thing because of whatever.
Because there's no word for it.
Right. But there's all these years of influence. So like when I was coming up, the influence was punk rock, the Grateful Dead, and classic rock. That was all the time that was behind me, right? But now we've got punk rock, classic rock, the Grateful Dead, Fish, fucking, and name 1,000 bands that are up to today that you guys have had.
Soundtribe Sector 9, baby.
Exactly. That have influenced you, and it's all come full circle. So there's this like,
there's more to pick from.
There's this new branch on the tree that's grown, and it hasn't been categorized yet, and it's fucking dope. It's rad to see it happening in real time and not like in a book. It kind of like when grunge was happening in the late 80s, early 90s. You felt like there was this new thing coming, and it hadn't been fully defined yet, and they hadn't co-opted flannel and fucking combat boots in the mall yet. and that's, I really do feel like that's what's happening right now with the jam scene. Is there's this new thing happening, and you guys are definitely part of that, at least in my eyes. And I know a lot of people that feel that. Yeah.
Well, and let's talk about the new record for a second.
Yeah.
The lyrics in that entire album are really fucking strong and heady, and like for today's people that need to hear that. Like I was listening to Metamorphic Prophecy, and I was on my way to the grocery store, and I was like, holy shit, what they're saying right now. Like, I'm like enjoying, you know, the vibe of the song, but then I was like, whoa, they're really fucking saying something important here. And then you get into that crazy jam too in that song, and I'm like, this song is like, if I could like take a picture of this song, this is everything right now. The fact that you are spilling your guts like truly and eloquently and in such a beautiful way, and then putting this incredible music to it with this upbeat tempo that is fucking happy, and we need happiness right now. And so like, it's not just that song, that song really stuck out for me, and I love that one so much. But can you talk about like the writing process of the album and like how those rich lyrics found it in that music that's so like jovial and fun and serious too?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You want to rip it, Matt?
Yeah, I guess I'll go. You go rip it first. I'll think about it a little more.
I was gonna say, I mean, I think that particular thing where it's like happy, like moving, dancing music with kind of sometimes melancholy, but more like I would call them transformative lyrics. You know, like some duality, some real shit. I mean, it's like, you know, life is life. Yeah. You know. So, and Alex, I think Alex is, as far as Metamorphic, I think Alex really is. He loves the Grateful Dead, if you can't tell. And he, I think he really loves that stuff. I think he likes for people to feel happy and good, but he also has some shit to say. And it's like, well, it's almost, I don't know how intentional it is. I think that there's a part of him that it just does, you know. I don't know. Right. He writes, as far as writing lyrics, he does not. He invites us to write with him, but he's kind of he gets it done. So, and Will as well. They crush some shit out. They may ask him some stuff, but they are really good at what they're doing. And I typically, sometimes like we may have like a small tweak that we think about, some kind of like wording or something like that. But those guys typically are, I feel like I'm not improving compared to what they can do. But man, I think that, again, as far as Metamorphic in that style, like I think that's very much home for a lot of us. I mean, we've all got bolts or steelies tattooed on us, and the Grateful Dead was like really into these just like heart-wrenching lyrics, but like pretty good feeling dance and stuff. And then sometimes some really sad shit too, that's just all the way sad. You know, Elliott Smith stab you in the chest, just sad. But you know, we don't do that a ton. But I think there's a lot to that style of music. I think
absolutely.
I think it's just, I don't want to use the word palatable, but it allows everything to feel nostalgic. It allows everything to feel resonating. And I don't know, again, I don't know how intentional that is with what Alex is doing. Quite frankly, he could be writing sad lyrics, and then he just only knows major chord or only knew major chords for a while, and that's just what happened. You know? Well,
yeah, I mean that's not entirely wrong, because especially like learning the guitar first, that's how it started for sure. It's like those just like uplifty, happy, like, you know, Lady River, Laugh and Laugh, you know, the old school stuff, you know, for sure.
Which we need to bring back, you know?
Yeah, we need to bring that back.
I love it all. I'm down to cry on the dance floor too. I love it. You know, a good cry, but
I'll cry with you. What's up?
Right? Let's do it.
Crying up there.
Look, I've been in mosh pits too. I know all about it. I'm about all music. But what you guys are doing, and then the reason I just mentioned that is because what Aaron was saying earlier, like there's like this bunch of younger bands that are coming up, and if this is what's going to be popular for our kids and our peers to see, thank fucking God.
Yeah, could have gone with something else. You know,
like this is like good. It's like good food to chew on.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah, man. What do you think, Matt, as far as like the lyrics and like the sound that you guys are bringing?
Oh man, I love it so much.
Oh,
it's
right
like
on.
exactly how I just play. Like that's what I love most about it. No matter what I'm playing, how I want to play. And then obviously there'll be like technical tweaks within, like if we're doing like a standard bluegrass tune or whatever. But like as far as originals go, it's just all balls to the walls until I figure out a melody, and then I stick to it, and then I write solos and just all in my head. Like I have none of it written down. I just remember it all. It's like it just clicks that much, where it's just like boom, and it's so much fun.
Lucky.
Wow.
But that's why I have my side project to kind of like do the opposite spectrum with electronic music too, and do the producing and stuff. It's Magic is what we call with an E, Magique. And it's electronic dub violin with my friend SJ, and she runs this CDJ decks while I play violin. And it's really fun. So my main inspiration is Lindsey Stirling, and so a lot of those like solos that you hear even in Sicard too, like are very Lindsey Stirling influence, like the euphoria, the dancing, the everything. It's like I want that to me when I first saw her, I was like, this is the best concert I've ever been to. I love the fact that she's like so positive and just dancing and jumping around. It's like I could totally do that, and eventually I'll want some like wireless capabilities on stage and stuff, be able to like jump around and do all fun stuff. We're all like going around in circles and stuff. But it's the best.
Is that available for us to listen to? Like,
it's on SoundCloud, Spotify, all that. We're releasing a new track on Friday.
What? Oh heck yeah, man!
Next week. Yep.
Dang. Okay.
All right. I had no idea. Cool.
I said that's our favorite. Now we got some more music to listen to. Hearing like all of us.
Right now we got a lot. We're doing like a remix run kind of thing, where every month we're doing a remix, and then we're having an album coming out next year.
Well, when you do have the album come out, let us know. Come back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And if you ever want SJ on here too, she's an interesting cat too. She's been in the house music industry and stuff.
Fuck yeah.
It's really interesting.
I wanna go back to something that you were talking about earlier. If you're comfortable talking about mental health, is that cool?
Yeah, for sure.
In 2020, like when we went through the beginnings of lockdown and COVID, we didn't know what was going to happen, and we were all just going on with our lives, like living normal. And then this stop happened. And for a lot of us that had issues that we were covering up with work or traveling, or that shit came bubbling up to the surface. And there was nowhere to go away from it. You were faced with yourself 100%. Did you struggle through that time at all?
I think I struggled the hardest in the house. I think I did, because we all lived together. Me, Alex, and Will, and Grendel. I think I definitely went through a lot of emotions, because I was so used to like I can go to shows, and like, I get my serotonin from, Docio and Soundtribe and stuff. And then I can come back from the show and be like, I'm ready. I'm inspired. Let's write some songs. Let's do all this stuff. But then once that kind of like stopped, I wasn't able to see my favorite bands and stuff. It was, and everything kind of, and while I was making Sicard, and like, then it was like, or while we were playing shows and stuff, and I was like, man, it felt like the world was just over. But at the same time, like it wasn't. There's always these like little sparks of hope every once in a while we're like jamming, or like playing a wedding or something, or like doing private gigs for people. And those are like the little sparks of hope that like kind of got me a little bit out of it. But the thing that like I coped up with most was a game called Final Fantasy. And that kind of helped me socialize, because like at an online game you were like playing with a bunch of people, and I'm like talking about my band. So I played that for a really long time during 2020, like a lot, and it in parts it helped, parts it didn't, because I got really obsessed, but I did feel grateful that I had that, because if I didn't, I don't know if I was like going to recover as well, because of the way that I was like thinking. I'm like, the world's like gone, like kind of thing, man. So I've
talked about this on the show. Like when that all happened, I I have a day job and I would go to an office every day, and like obviously that wasn't a thing anymore. So now I'm working from home, and these guys had jobs. Apple runs a dispensary. He's an inventory manager for a dispensary, and
yeah, we were deemed essential by the
and I
governor
worked outside.
right away.
Yeah,
like
gotta
people
leave.
need their weed, which was awesome. I got to leave
so these
every
two
day.
are leaving every day, and I'm here all by myself. Like after a few months, the fucking walls started closing in, and I'm the same as you, man. Like prior to that, my way of coping with everything was going to shows.
It's not anymore?
No.
It's playing shows at this point.
I'm
Yeah,
confused
I don't
a little
go to
bit,
shows as
guys.
much anymore.
But and I realized like how much of my identity was wrapped up in outside shit, and like even down to the clothes I wear and like everything. And none of that fucking mattered anymore to anybody. You're not fucking.
I remember you
leaving
said
that. Yeah,
he said that. He's like, who the fuck am I dressing for anymore? I don't even leave the house. I don't care. None of this clothes seems like mine anymore.
and I've been somebody that for a long time struggled with anxiety and didn't know that I was struggling with anxiety. I thought that I was just weird. You know what I mean?
Well, you are.
I didn't
but,
like people or whatever, but it wasn't that. It was anxiety and that too. And I know that post quarantine and now I feel like I have way different coping skills than I had before that, just through like, I didn't go to therapy or anything, but just through like sheer force of will of coming through shit. Do you feel like that too? Like coming out of that, you got better able to cope with your shit. Speaking of coping with your shit, tell them about the cannabis apple.
Yeah, if you want to cope with your shit and you're up in the Portland area, you can come visit me at Define Premium Cannabis at our Hillsboro location. You come in, you tell us what's wrong with you. We will take our time. We will find whatever product you need. We have so many. There's too many to mention.
How many are there?
We have like
I'm
about
just kidding.
300
I'm joking.
total if you break them down. But come in, let us know what's ailing you, what your problem is, and we will send you out with a smile on your face on your way to feeling better. And make sure to mention that you are a listener to No Simple Road. That's very important because when you do that, we're going to throw you a 10% discount. We're going to give you a t-shirt and probably some other goodies as well. Stickers, lighters, who knows. But to find out, you got to come in. So Define Premium Cannabis in Hillsboro. Come and see me. It'll make me happy.
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely ups and downs and stuff.
Yeah.
I recently kind of went through a little bit of a down coming back from the tour, and then now we're kind of still on the tour, but coming back home. And I'm also like moving out of the house with my girlfriend, and I've never really done that before. So there's like a lot of new things that are happening. So I was kind of like got into like a down portion for a little bit. But right now I like kind of I feel like a reemergence is happening, and I'm like working on my songs and like working, and practicing and getting ready for the wedding we're playing today. So,
Oh, wow.
Right on.
yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a dope wedding. Holy shit.
That'll be fun. Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like really like you, like Aaron just asked about your coping skills, but clearly like redirecting that kind of anxious energy for you has really been fruitful. It sounds like,
I mean, this is honestly the second day out of my reemergence right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for
I guess since we're on the
reemerging.
topic, I did start taking medication since we're on the topic, and I just started yesterday. And I think the hope of it right now is kind of like getting me feeling good and like, I'm hoping to get, into a better place with the help of people and modern medicine and stuff. So I'm giving it a shot, and right now it's the hope is elevating me
right
more
on,
to go for it.
Well, thanks for talking about it, being that it's so fresh and you're like kind of in it. I know that it seems like a weird place to talk about that, but believe you when I say that the people that listen to the show, we've had so many people just mention it, or we've gone into depth about mental health, and people respond to that because it's such a taboo subject, even though it's out there now, much more than it ever has been. And I'm so grateful. But it's still like one of those things, like, you don't want to talk about you pooped in your pants. You know what I'm saying? That's not
right.
But when you do shit your pants,
but then you do.
Everybody that has
you do exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And I hate to. I don't mean to. Make that.
No.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it's.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for talking about it, because literally everybody's dealing with it. Is it their mom? Is it themselves? Is it their partner? Is it their sister? Like everybody's got something going on. And so when we talk candidly like this, I think it just brings it out more in the front so that people can have dialogue normally about it, and like, oh, you're taking medication. Why didn't you do this? Or we don't. Oh, you were sad.
Yeah,
like
it's like oh, maybe I've tried. I've done psychedelics like since I was 16. And that helped me, and it got rid of a lot of my anxiety for the time. And then recently, it's just like, man, I don't want to trip. I don't want to I don't want to do that anymore. And so then it kind of was just the other alternative,
Right on, man.
And that's the thing we love is that it shows too. We get so much feedback of being truthful, and like, because what we see when we go to YouTube and stuff is you guys on stage just so happy and so good at what you do and everything. Good example for me, which I think you should dress like a lot more, is the Snuggleween. Like that, fun you guys were having on stage, but then to realize too that you're also human when you're off stage and you have these issues. And this is funny because I'll throw it out there. This is really gratifying to me. I started sharing about I have hemorrhoid issues, and I became vocal about it on the show. Like, why just we share everything? Why not the problems that are embarrassing? And then when we started going to shows, I had a guy's wife thank me because her husband had been suffering from issues and being a dude like we are. So I'm fine. Oh, I'm going to be fine. I don't need to go to the doctor. It encouraged him to go to the doctor, which he caught a serious problem at the beginning. She's all, if you hadn't talked about that on your podcast and encouraged him, he probably would have let it go till it was a problem. So like talking about our issues is very important.
Here's the other part,
especially in the world we're in now.
The other part of it too is like, anytime we talk about what's going on with us, we want to hide the shit that's wrong. We want to like put the best face forward out to the world.
Yeah, like the Instagram part of it. This is everything that's good.
Being able to, especially with your homies, like I learned this through psychedelics, is if I'm having a bad trip, telling somebody I'm having a bad trip is the first thing that like will start to bring me back. Like, yo, bro, I'm having a really fucking hard time right now. I'm starting to lose my shit. Set break's fucking weird. I don't know where I am. Like, whatever.
Being honest.
I'm lost in the hallway.
Yeah, being honest like that. And so if you could do that with your friends or your family, or if you have a support system like that, then you're halfway there already to be able to be like, yo, I'm fucked up right now, man, and I need help. Because we all do. Mel and I just had this conversation yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Nobody's perfect, man. And sometimes you fuck up and it happens, or you feel bad.
And usually no matter what the issue, when you share it, there are other people who are like, I'm glad you said that because I'm having a fucked up time right now too. Let's support each other.
For sure.
So thanks, man. Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely. Dope. Yeah, it's definitely like a new thing, and I think that everybody should try out all their options to get better.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I got to ask one more question though. What made you want to stop tripping?
Well, it's mostly just whenever I'm like at a festival nowadays, I'm playing the festival. Mm-hmm. And so, it's not like completely unprofessional to like trip and like hold it down and like stuff, it's totally like chill, But at the same time, like I know myself and I know that I'm not going to have as good an experience unless I'm just like, you know, sober or like have like a drink or two. You know what I mean? Like if I'm doing acid or mushrooms or anything, well, mushrooms is a little bit easier to control for me. I can, that is usually a good time for like smaller doses, but that's probably about like the amount that I do now.
What's that?
At Resonate or Resonance? Which one?
Saying we were tripping balls. Whichever one was in like the daytime. We were tripping balls. That was a great show. But that always work out like that.
You know, no, sometimes they get away from you.
We've learned that doing our podcast, like going to festivals and covering them. Now we can't. We
usually pick a day.
We were used to being spectators, all like kind of like you said. We were not there. We were not on duty, so we could do whatever we wanted. There was really no consequences. Then we learned it's like we got to be on point at least 80% of the time, and we pick mutually, and we usually all agree on like. Whatever the set, you know, whoever's playing this and that, we pick a night. It's like, okay, out of this 4-day festival, that's our night to have fun. And then we do that because you can't keep it together for 4 days.
No way. I tried at Resonance.
It gets weird.
You tried.
I did not sleep for the whole thing.
Oh, no.
The entire thing because I didn't want to miss anything. And I loved every single one of those artists. That was like the Resonance is one of those festivals where it's like every single one is like, that's what I listen to. And then so it's like, it was not good, but I did crush the 2 sets that we did. And it was like great. But like after those 2 sets, we did like, you know, an afternoon set, and then we did a 5 o'clock in the morning set the same like day. And so it was like, then it was like a weird debauchery from that set to that set. And then, you know, it was super.
You're learning
super
your
hard.
boundaries.
Parrish.
Like your
right,
person.
and it was a learning experience, and honestly, it was really fun, and like I was feeling good during the set, so it was great. But it was just those after moments where I was super drained and like couldn't go to sleep because all my friends were hanging out talking at the random Rab Sunrise set. And then you know.
Wow.
How about you, Parrish? Are you able to handle that?
Hold it together?
Yeah, hold it down like that.
Yeah, I like to party.
Okay.
But not a ton. I mean, I honestly, we're talking about mental health and all that stuff. I actually recently kind of got like kicked a pretty nasty habit. You know, you gotta take care of yourself, and there's things that you think may be helping you on the road or helping you at shows or helping you with life that are just fucking not. They're just really not. And I smoke trees all the time. We all smoke. We love. I shouldn't put us on blast. I smoke weed. I bet you guys could.
You gotta personalize it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't put the boys on blast. They can out themselves. We all are experienced, I guess, you know, in kind of like the moon boot realm or whatever, the psychedelic stuff, and there's a time and place for it. I have accidentally gotten high before certain shows, and playing shows tripping is really cool, but it can be really stressful as well. And then also like ever having the mindset that you're actually going to be in control of really what's going to happen defeats the purpose completely. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'll say that, you know, LSD changed my life. And I think a lot of us, you know, like, I love it. I think I have some wacky out there. I'm sure all of us have some wacky out there thoughts about what and how and all that stuff. And I appreciate it so much. And I really am glad that it's a part of a healthy part of people's lives in the scene that we're involved in. I really love that. It's important, I think, to me, and I think the rest of the band. And my whole thing with that is like I think it waxes and wanes, man. I've got, you know, there's people who can just rage on, and it's never slows them down. And then there's times where I'm like, man, I'm gonna pass on paper 90% of the time. If someone hands me a tab, I'm gonna say, no, I appreciate it, but I'm good. But I definitely fully support that part of
You know,
this community.
it's like having ice cream. You can't have ice cream before and after every show, and then when you get home, and then, well, I mean, I guess
ice
you
cream's
could.
not going to be
Yeah,
as
there's
good.
a couple.
That's true.
I also a couple times I sat down and ate the whole gallon, you know, and it's like, well,
and then you're not going to want ice cream for a while after that.
A while, yeah.
Parrish,
Still a gallon, you know, shit happens.
Parrish, we need to hang out, man.
What's up, dude? Let's hang.
You guys, okay,
Ice cream
let's
social.
get you all down here to Portland. We need Sicard Hollow needs to
please.
be in Portland. We need to have you guys, and
you need to stay with us. You need to come stay here. Let us cook for you. Give you a place to hang out.
yeah,
That'd be amazing.
and chill, and we'll have our own chill time after the show. You know what I mean? Like, I just talked. Well, when we first talked with Alex and Will, the second, unfortunately, we were having a hard day. All of us were having a hard day right before we went on.
Fuck yeah.
And I did not want to do it because I was fucking out of my head and there was too much going on.
Like heavy family shit.
Yeah,
going
heavy
on.
family shit. Then I see those two beautiful faces and I was like, okay, these freaking are homies right here. These are like our people. Like, it's like talking to my daughter and her friend or something. Like, it was just really organic, super chill. And it really decompressed me and grounded me. And the way that Alex is so intentional with his words, and they just a lot of love coming from them. And I felt it, you know, and I see now the other half. I'm glad we did it this way. I'm glad we did it separate because now I really get the entirety of the band and it feels the same way but different. You guys have really grounded me and kind of like pulled me in, but in a different way. And I just want to thank you guys for doing that because, you know, this is off stage. This is not, you're not playing. We're not listening to anything. We're just talking. But I just want to thank you for that because your personality show through your instruments. And that's also the vibe that you're bringing to the shows. And that's what I'm saying thank you for your bringing those vibes through the sound that you're making and then freaking crushing it and making it fun. So thank you guys for doing that. And that's why we want you out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. I appreciate that so much.
Well, this too. Getting to have these conversations is also getting to see you guys jam because now it makes it so much more special to go watch you guys
we're
and
rooting for our
stuff.
friends.
I'm gonna go search out the Resonance clips, try to find some of that.
5 a.m. set.
Yeah. I think I even noticed. It was also the daytime set. I also ate a little bit.
That's what we were.
Yeah, we were like I was because we watched Keller Williams and I was with our friend Haley and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take this like microdose vial thing, and then it ended up being a little bit more than that, and then it was really fun though, and it was really fun.
We know those macro doses. That you're like,
that's what it was. Yeah, I was like in the
whoops.
dropper and everything. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
We were at the Gorge in 2019 and it's like summer, it's hot, and we're in like this cattle pen, like fences on either side with the gates to go in right in front of us, and it's just packed with people, and we're waiting for the gates to open for the show. I'm with my friend Nathaniel, and he's a big motherfucker. He like 6'5", like 300-pound big dude. He's like, yo, bro, you want a microdose of mushrooms? And I was like, yeah, sure. We're going to go into the show here in a half hour. It'll be hitting.
Microdose to a giant is different.
I take this microdose.
Oh no.
And all of us, like 20 minutes later, everything's going. I'm like, oh, fuck. Then they don't let us in for an hour. And then an hour and 40 minutes. And we're all baking in the sun and everybody's coming onto their shit.
Everybody's got to pee. Everybody's out of water.
People are fucking losing their minds. And I'm like, I am never taking a microdose from anybody ever again.
Yeah. Or at least till I get in the show and through the gates is what we learned too. Yeah. Like
yes,
pre-gaming is kind of nice, but when that happens, it's like, oh man, that was too soon.
So
yeah, don't pre-game.
No,
no.
There's plenty of time.
Yeah.
All right, so let's make a hard left and tell us about what's going on with you guys coming up. You finished your tour. What's coming up besides the wedding today?
I guess I mean today just the wedding. I guess the next thing that releases for me is the Magic track.
Okay.
We're doing it's a Charles the First remix. And Charles the First, if you don't know, he's a really good producer, and he died a couple months ago, or almost half a year ago, almost a year ago. Something around that time, and we love him, and so we want to do a tribute to him and make a cool like violin, kind of orchestral sounding song or remix of it. And I'm also doing a track with Entangled Mind, and they are very good DJ. And they played it like Tipper and Friends and stuff.
Oh shit.
It's super good, which is that's where me and Parrish met and stuff. And I think after that is Summit Music Hall in December 1st at in Columbus, Ohio.
All right.
Sweet.
And
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. You guys have a nice little break for Thanksgiving and everything. They got some stuff all through North Carolina, Asheville, Charlotte, and then that's awesome too. You guys are going to be doing the Winter Wondergrass next year, both locations.
That's gonna be fun. I'm super stoked for Tahoe. I haven't been to Tahoe since I was probably like 7 years old.
Aww.
So it's gonna be crazy coming back.
Yeah, we want to do Winter Wondergrass so bad.
Yeah.
We might.
We're going to see if that happens.
Everybody make sure that you check out Brightest of Days.
Yes.
It's the new album by Sicard Hollow. It's out on all the streaming platforms, and it fucking rips.
Yes, it
Support
does.
these guys. If they come to your town, go see them.
Buy the merch. Buy the album. Buy the CD.
Yeah, support all.
Buy your tickets in advance.
Support our beautiful musicians that are traveling hard AF to come make you dance your butt off.
Yo,
Yeah,
and we will be in touch. We're gonna. I want to bring you guys out here sometime. Let's make that happen.
I got to say too that I got to compliment you, Parrish. It took me the first 20 minutes of this to realize you're an awesome driver, dude. I'm a backseat driver. Aaron knows I have to keep my mouth shut. It took me 20 minutes to realize you're actually driving and not pulled over. You're a smooth driver. You got Mr. Dom there. Okay. This is one of the best. We've had few interviews from a car.
Oh, yeah.
They're usually really a problem, dropping in and out and everything.
Parrish is muted.
You drove well.
Oh yeah, you are muted. But yeah.
Parrish, you muted. He's like crashes in.
Yeah, right as I say that, like, oh,
Oh, there
I
you go.
got
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
He's back.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Actually, we didn't get to touch on it. I love cars, so driving's a thing for me.
Okay.
That's my therapy when we go home.
Mm-hmm.
And I do car stuff. So
Really? Even
I'll play
after
this
being
really
on the
bad.
road, you still are into it. Dang. You really were
Yeah.
born for it, Parrish.
yeah, I've got an old '91 Fox Body Mustang that I'm restoring.
Oh hell yeah.
oh wow.
That's a fun project.
Yeah. So
It's frustrating,
Well,
but it's gonna be sick when it runs.
Well, you and Aaron have that in common too. Aaron hardly ever lets me or Mel drive when it's anywhere.
I
When
can't do
we're going to split the drive. We're going to be on the road for a few days, and he'll never give up the driver's
Nope.
seat.
And he'll be like, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired.
I'm
Then
gonna drive
fucking
another
scoot
10
over,
hours.
dude.
it's a
Scoot
weird
over.
control thing. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry, it is. Before we
I
go,
get it.
let's nerd out for just a second. What do you guys think of the Goose, Billy Strings, Trey shit that happened?
Fire.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
Fuego. Yeah, I mean, my girlfriend's obsessed with those bands except for Goose, and I had like a woo moment with Goose at Beach.
Mhm.
So we played it. I guess we played it this morning, and I was like, it's just some things I think it's really badass. Some things are really awesome on paper and end up falling short to your ears. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, this like these four people together, this has got to be amazing, and then it could suck. And this was one that did not suck, so it was pretty fire. You know?
Dude, yeah, totally agree.
I got to say what you just said too. When we went to Peach this year, I really they had that late night Goose performance,
dude,
and I had something we
So
were
cool.
when he pulled out I was very elevated. It's late at night, and when they pulled out that cover of My Morning Jacket, AEIOU,
Holy
that
shit,
blew my.
dude.
I didn't know that song. I don't know My Morning Jacket that well, but that blew my fucking mind. And they were like, lack of better word, it was like such a rock star moment for them being on the stage that late, following Trey. And, you know, it was just like, holy shit. It just gave me goosebumps thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Perfect is a good word for that, man. Yeah. It was one of those moments that like crystallizes in your mind forever.
Right.
These boys
and
are,
it was so great because Tab was just so wonderful. That was my first time seeing Tab, and I prefer that over seeing Fish, honestly, because I've seen Fish probably only like twice.
Okay.
But, 3 times. I've seen him 3 times. But out of all those times I've seen them, which is kind of, you know, newer Fish, Tab like just blew me away completely, and that's the shit. That's what I really like, is like the kind of more gospel-y.
Yes.
And, like, you know,
Yes,
I'm obsessed
Matthew.
with like orchestrated music, especially in like video game soundtracks and stuff like that. Like if a game has a solid track for every single whatever is going on in the game, and then it's like this whole thing. It's like, I honestly kind of want to do that at some point, make like a whole like score of for something, you know, either a movie or a game.
I could see that happening for sure, Matthew. That's within your wheelhouse for sure.
I know that.
Maybe like a little indie game or something for somebody, just something fun, you know, like, yeah.
I know that we can't, like, nobody knows anything right now for Peach next year, but if you guys end up happening to be there again, I would love to interview you guys in person there. Like we were talking to them when we left last year of doing something from the Grove stage. So if it turns out that we're all there again, I would love for you guys to be part of that with us.
That'd be awesome. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, cool.
All right, you guys.
Beach is like so close to home, or like so homey. Like everything's so great there.
Yes.
It'll be great.
It felt like that when we flew across the country.
Yep.
It really did. It was like, fuck, I could live here.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Right on, you guys. Go have a kick-ass show, break a leg today.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
We'll be in touch. We'll talk soon.
We appreciate you guys so much. Much love.
Yeah,
We'll
back
see y'all
at you,
soon.
brother.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you soon.
All right, man.
Take
All right,
care.
guys.
Rick, I loved that band before I ever met any of them.
Yeah.
Then when we interviewed Alex and Will,
even more.
I even liked them even more. And now,
I love
they're my
What?
favorite.
I remember when we've done it several
You just
times.
really want them to be your favorite.
And we've done it several times. But I remember this is one. As soon as we got done with Alex and Will, within a couple of minutes, we were like, we need to get the rest of them on.
Yep.
And then, like you just said, then hopefully catch them at Peach and get a sit down, and hopefully they get out here and get to hang out with us. Yeah, these are awesome.
It's
guys.
like we were saying during that, like, it's a wonderful time to be alive. Like,
Yeah,
it really
it is.
right now. We've got this little reprieve from insanity for the most part at the moment, and we're able to go to shows and be with each other, and there's all this wonderful new music happening, and like,
yeah, the healing's back. The insanity is still there, but the healing is back. Our medicine is there in the forefront.
And like we were just talking about the Goose, Trey, Billy Strings thing. Like, I think that everybody understands this already, but those moments that are happening are historical moments that are that's no small thing. That's a big fucking deal energetically, what happened there. And
Can you explain that? The energy aspect of it.
Sure. Each one of those bands has its own atmosphere and gravity, and is a universe unto itself, and an experience when you go see them play.
Yeah.
And people have transformative experiences at Tab shows, Goose shows, Billy String shows. So much so that they follow them around the country. And you bring those three things together, it creates something bigger than the sum of its part. And that goes down in history. Not because of the hype, but because energetically,
the reality
of it is a transformative thing that's happening. And
like Parrish just said too, it doesn't always work.
No.
This worked.
Right. And
it came together so amazingly.
Yeah. And there's a lot of hype behind all three of those bands. And
as well, there should be.
But you can easily dismiss it as hype and say, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? But if you look under the hood and see what's going on stage between those musicians and feel what's coming through the channels on that, it's huge. And it's bigger than anything that's been going on for a while. That's a tsunami. Where each one of those bands creates a wave on their own,
Mm-hmm.
that's a fucking tsunami. And that stuff goes out into the world and changes people and does things. And it's
inspires.
a big deal. It's a big deal that's going on. And we're lucky to be here right now while bands like Sicard Hollow, Eggy, Dogs in a Pile, Cycles, Bodhi Mojo, Sponge,
Family
Mystic, like these bands are coming up. And we're getting to see the birth of a whole new era of the life of this music that we all love.
Yeah.
This is also an era we're in where it makes me, being an older person that doesn't really care for social media and technology as much, appreciate it. Because we don't have to wait weeks.
Yeah.
And stuff like we
that's
used to
true.
growing up. We get to see it that night a lot of times in clips and hear it immediately. And these bands like Fish, they put it all out as soon as they can, so that we all get to hear it, so that we don't get that. Aaron said it well. You were like, I don't get FOMO often, but when Nathaniel texted all three of that clip, he was there at the show. Congratulations, Nam.
Yeah, you deserve it. No, Nathaniel, you deserve it.
Yeah, and it just blows our mind, like, to know right there and then know that that's coming very soon. We're gonna get to hear it and see it. But Aaron's like, I don't get FOMO often, but that's one of them, and we all agreed.
Yeah,
it was like, oh my god, to be in that crowd.
I don't like Fish does an East Coast tour. I'm bummed that I can't go to the shows and stuff, but I'm not like, fuck, I missed it. Oh, I feel like that with this, man.
And it's also, you're saying this is the birth of something, because now there's going to be more collaborate. More is going to come out of this, and we're going to get to see.
Well, that's kind of what
comes out of it.
The scene is right now. It's like collaborate to the umpteenth power. Everybody's on stage with everybody. Maybe that used to happen before, but it seems like it's the norm now for people to jump on stage with each other, for bands to mix together. You know, the side projects is some members of one band and another band. And it's
like James Casey and Jen Hartswick playing with Phil at the Warfield.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yes.
It's just like this cross-pollination that's going on. I think it was happening before, but I think it's in no small part due to the fact that everybody sat at home for 2 years.
Yeah, it's way more prevalent now. It's in the forefront that they look forward to playing with their fellow musicians and seeing, and but we talk to them all the time. It helps push them to new realms and discover new ways of playing.
They're playing with new,
and they up each other's game.
Yep. And I just have to say, this has nothing to do with playing, but J-Ha looked so dope. She had like one leg up on the drum, the drum little stage. She had her trumpet, her little Air Force Ones, her jeans. She looked so cool.
Yeah.
The epitome of, like you were saying, a rock star moment for Goose, like a fucking goddess, rock star.
She's such a badass.
Everything, her body, her hair, her outfit, her trumpet, her stance. It inspired me. I was like, dang girl, you freaking get it. And don't stop getting it. That's how I felt.
And you throw Natalie in there. Those are two grooving
We just need to get Natalie on. That's it. Yeah, we need to get Natalie on. Natalie, we're coming after you. We want you.
Here we come. Listen, you know us by now. If you're listening to the show, hopefully this isn't your first go around with No Simple Road.
And if it is, welcome.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is I do get excited about new music often.
Yes.
But this is different. I really do love this band. They scratch a particular itch in the back of my head for whatever reason. There's a Blind Melon vibe to the singing. The bluegrass is dope.
He does look like Shannon Hoon.
Yeah,
young
bit.
Shannon.
He's got it.
And
and also you and I are playing that music right now too.
Right, that
and
too.
so that is I'll say that's a huge influence for me, and like listening to any bluegrass right now, my ears and my like eyes are so much more open than they ever used to be. And now that it can be an average band, not that Sicard Hollow's average by any means, but just a normal band, and I'm eating it up.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean about that.
That's been amazing to see with you, Mel, because I'd go back even further. Probably like 4 years ago, you had a hard time distinguishing what instrument was what.
Oh, 100%.
Now you're playing and learning, and it's amazing to see how much you've come into the
musical
weird to say.
world.
Yeah, and I always want to go to that jam band world, but this community of musicians, because it's way beyond jam band and
Way
everything.
beyond.
We
Thanks,
have left the
Apple.
building.
Consummate professional
Thanks for
musicians.
recognizing that and saying
It's dope.
something.
You point out things that I don't fucking know, and it's awesome.
Mel's like, oh, this is a 4/4 samba beat. What?
Well, I'm just going to go back to my gratitude for you, Aaron, and making it happen, getting my banjo. And then my follow through with getting a teacher. I know that there's so much online and it's easy to do things online, but I need one-on-one. I need to
be in person.
I need to be in person. I'm old school that way. And it just so happens that my teacher feels that same way. And the small little things that we're working through, I'm excited again. I feel like it feels like I've got a new baby that I get to take care of, and I'm excited about it. And you get to decorate the nursery, and then you get to take them to their ballet class. And there's so many things that's wrapped up in parenthood that's fun and exciting. And I feel like I get to share that energy with my banjo. I get to leave the house and go get a class, and then I get to come home and practice, and it just opened up a new world for me. And I love it.
And I owe a debt of gratitude to the Sicard Hollow boys, to Alex and Will, because when we talked to them, we talked a little bit about learning music, and they were like, learn fiddle tunes. Mm-hmm. You remember that?
I do remember it.
It rung my bell, and I was like, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to sit down and learn a fiddle tune. I've never done it before. And since then I've started doing it, and thanks you guys, man. It's helped me immeasurably, and I just started. So lot of love, y'all. And everybody out there, support these guys when they come through your town. Go see them.
it.
Like we said, buy the merch, get the album, buy your tickets in advance, all that shit, because they're fucking putting it all out there, and they deserve to be supported by the people that are benefiting from their talent, their energy, and their creativity. So we love you guys. We'll be back next week. Apple's peeing. That's why he's being quiet. We'll be back next week with more stuff and things. Smile at the stranger. Safety third.
Pick up an instrument.
Hydrate. Practice.
Love your neighbor.
Peace.
But it's a burden. Valley needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? One simple road. Shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners,
I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
What's up, everyone? It's Joe, and I'm the host of That's Awesome with Joe, a podcast on the newly formed Sound Talent Media Podcast Network. I talk with tons of your favorite artists, managers, touring personnel, and more. Most of the time we talk about music, but lots of the time we end up talking about something completely unrelated. We laugh a lot. We do a lot of really stupid things, but also some things that are really informative and interesting. Basically, it's a podcast that I think you should listen to. Obviously, I'm biased because it's my podcast, but I think I might be into it if I wasn't the host. Check it out at soundtalentmedia.com.